She cried in silence while they laughed behind her back. But the man standing outside that glass door had seen those eyes before, and what he knew would shake everything they thought they knew about her. It was just after 7 p.m. when Maya, a soft-spoken 16-year-old girl in a wrinkled red fast food uniform, stood wiping the same countertop over and over. Her eyes were red, her fingers shook. She had barely spoken all shift. Behind her, two co-workers, Jake and Brianna, snickered from the fry station. "She's crying again," Brianna whispered, loud enough for Maya to hear. Jake chuckled. Bet her boyfriend dumped her over text. So tragic. Maya just kept wiping, quiet, small, almost invisible. No one asked why her backpack was half unzipped on the floor. No one noticed the crumpled court paper inside it. No one knew what had happened that morning before she arrived to her shift. But outside, someone watched. An old man with weathered skin, ragged layers of clothing, and eyes filled with something most people missed: recognition. He was standing by the window, holding a small paper bag, untouched. Customers avoided eye contact. Some complained. "Can someone tell that man to leave?" a woman muttered as she walked past. Jake rolled his eyes. Probably just wants free ketchup. But Maya, she finally looked up. Their eyes locked, just for a second. And the old man, he nodded, slowly, like he knew her. Maya blinked, startled. He tapped on the glass, not aggressively, just once. Then he lifted something from his coat pocket. It was a worn, silver pendant, a locket. The same locket Maya's mother used to wear around her neck before she disappeared 5 years ago. Her heart stopped. She dropped the cloth. Her feet moved before her brain caught up. "Where are you going?" Jake snapped. But Maya pushed through the kitchen door and out into the evening rain. The man was already turning to walk away. "Wait!" she cried. "Where did you get that? That locket, it was my mother's." He didn't speak right away. He just turned, looked her in the eyes, and said, "I promised her I'd find you one day." And just like that, the entire world tilted. Who was this man? Why did he have her mother's necklace? And what exactly did he mean by promised? He held her mother's necklace like it meant everything. But Maya had not heard that name spoken in 5 years. And now this man, this stranger in rags, was telling her a truth no one else dared to. Rain slid off Maya's face as she stood frozen in front of him. Her voice cracked. You knew my mom?" The old man gave a slow, tired nod. Her name was Delilah. She worked at the shelter back when I had nothing. She fed me, sat with me, treated me like a person. Her heart thudded. Delilah. That was her mother's real name. Not many knew it. "She disappeared 5 years ago," Maya whispered, "without a trace. The police said she might have run away." "She didn't." His voice was firm. "She was taken." Those 2 words stopped the wind. Maya could barely breathe. "Taken?" The old man stepped closer and his voice turned low. "Your mother got involved with someone powerful. Too powerful. She found out something she shouldn't have." She clutched the locket, her fingers trembling. The same locket her mom never took off, the one Maya thought was buried in the past. "I promised her," he said, "that if anything ever happened, I would find you, protect you, and tell you the truth." "But who are you? Why you?" The old man pulled out a photograph, soaked but still visible. It was her mother, standing beside him, smiling. "She saved my life," he whispered. "That necklace was her only treasure. She gave it to me the day she disappeared and said, 'Give this to my daughter if they ever silence me.'" Maya's knees weakened. This was real. And the people inside, Jake, Brianna, the customers who sneered at the homeless man, they knew nothing. Her voice wavered. "Why now? Why today?" He looked at her with sorrowful eyes. "Because they are watching again. You are old enough now, and they know who you are." She staggered backward. "Who I am?" The man gently reached into his coat again and handed her something else. A folded letter, sealed, old, faded. On the front, "To my Maya. Read this when you are ready." Maya's breath caught. Her hands shook. Just then, a loud knock came from behind. Jake had stormed outside. "Maya, what are you doing talking to this freak? You want to get fired?" The old man stepped in front of her, protective. But Maya's eyes never left the letter. Something inside her had already changed. Because now, she had questions. Now, she had a connection. Now, she had a choice. And whatever was in that letter, whatever her mother had written, might hold the key to everything.
The rain had stopped, but Maya's world was still drowning. She sat under the broken awning outside the restaurant, clutching her soaked apron like it could hold her together. Her cheeks were raw from crying, her eyes hollow from humiliation. Behind her, they were still laughing. Jake, the manager, who fired her for crying on the clock, was now inside joking with the same customers who had mocked her. The woman who spilled coffee on her on purpose, Brianna, was snapping selfies like nothing had happened. And Maya? She was invisible again. Until the old man stepped forward. He had watched everything from across the street. He wore a long, battered coat. His hands trembled, but his eyes held fire. He knelt beside her, slowly and carefully, as if her pain deserved reverence. "You dropped this," he said softly, holding out a crumpled photo she had not even realized had fallen. It was the only picture Maya had left of her mother. Her hands flew to her mouth. "Where did you—" "I know that woman," he said. "Her name was Alina. She used to work here too, years ago. She disappeared." Maya's heart stopped. That was my mom," she whispered. "She died when I was 10, or that is what I was told." The old man nodded slowly. "She was brave. Too brave for her own good. She found something they were hiding. And when she tried to expose it, she vanished. They made it look like an accident." Maya's breath caught. "What do you mean, they?" He reached into his coat, carefully pulling out a sealed envelope. "She gave this to me, told me to protect it, and to give it to her daughter one day. I never thought I would find you." Maya's hands trembled as she opened the letter. It was in her mother's handwriting. "Maya, if you are reading this, they failed to erase us. This place, the company behind it, they are not what they seem. They took food meant for hungry children, lied about donations. I tried to stop them. I'm so sorry." Tears streamed down Maya's face as she read. The words wrapped around her like her mother's arms. "Do not trust the smiles inside that building, but if you ever feel alone, find the man outside. He knows everything." She looked up. Her eyes met his. Why did you never say anything all these years?" The old man sighed. "Because sometimes the truth is too dangerous. But not anymore. You are not a waitress, Maya. You are the daughter of a woman who stood up when no one else would." Maya stood, shaky but stronger. "I am going back inside," she said. "I need to look them in the eyes." The man nodded, and for the first time, he smiled. "I'll be right here, just like I always was." As she pushed open the diner door again, heads turned. Jake rolled his eyes. "I thought I fired you." But Maya stepped forward with a calm they had never seen. "You did, and I am so glad you did, because now everyone will finally know who my mother was and what you people did to her." Silence fell. The laughter stopped. But outside, The old man finally stood tall, and the truth was coming in like a storm. Jake's smirk vanished. The girl he had humiliated now stood taller than anyone in the room. Her clothes were still wet, her eyes still red, but there was something different about her now. Courage, truth, legacy. "Maya, I don't know what game you think you're playing," Jake scoffed, adjusting his tie. "But if you think waving around some old letter is going to change anything, you're wrong." Maya held her ground. "It is not a game," she replied. "It is proof. My mother warned people about what you were doing, about how this place forged donation receipts, lied about donations. I tried to stop them. Some customers started whispering. Others stood. Jake tried to laugh it off, but his voice cracked. You really think anyone is going to believe some fired waitress and a homeless lunatic?" Then a deep voice cut through the tension. "I do." Everyone turned toward the door. It was the man from outside, only now he wasn't wearing his old coat. He was in a clean blazer, crisp shirt, and holding a badge. A federal one. "My name is Raymond Tucker, FBI. I've been undercover here for over a year, waiting for someone brave enough to open this letter." Jake turned pale. "You're lying." But Raymond pulled out a small recorder and pressed play. Jake's voice filled the room. "Just shred the invoice and fake the signature. Nobody checks the donation reports anyway." Gasps. Phones came out, cameras pointed. The room erupted in chaos. Maya just stood still, like her mother did once. "I lost her," she said quietly, eyes filling with tears. "But I did not lose who she raised me to be." Within minutes, police arrived. Jake was arrested along with Brianna and 2 other staff members who had helped cover up years of fraud. News vans rolled in less than an hour. They wanted to talk to Maya, but she was outside, hugging the man who had waited years for this moment. 2 weeks later, the restaurant was shut down, but in its place rose something entirely different. Maya's Kitchen, a non-profit cafe that offered meals to anyone in need, no questions asked. And in the center of it all, a wall, framed with one photo, her mother smiling in the sun, arms wrapped around a little girl. Below it, a plaque read, "In honor of Alina Monroe, who fed the hungry and dared to speak the truth." Maya poured coffee for a young mother with tired eyes and handed her a free sandwich. "No charge," she smiled. "You matter here." The woman burst into tears and hugged her. Raymond watched from the corner, eyes misty. He had spent years chasing justice, but today he saw something even rarer: healing. As Maya wiped down the counter that night, she glanced outside. A little girl stood where she once had, crying, afraid. And Maya rushed out, pulled her into her arms, and whispered, "You are not alone."